Hello everyone, my name is Emma and welcome to the Mindless show. This is topic something for horror. What number is it? You don't know? You don't do that anymore? Okay. Well, this is...
It's on my computer, I don't know.
I forgot his name and I didn't get introduced to this person, so introduce yourself.
McWizWam.
Okay.
Awful embarrassing.
This is how the show goes, basically. So we're meant to be talking about horror. You wanted to talk about something, so let's just get that out of the way first, maybe? Yes?
Yeah, sure. Aesthetics of horror.
Go ahead, keep talking.
Alright, well, we watched The Shining this year for media, and everyone hated it.
I loved it. Shining's a great film.
I actually really like it as well. I don't know why people dislike it. But it builds itself on the horror from the atmosphere and the music and whatnot, and not actually like jump scares unless you count the every time it turns to a different day, like Wednesday and Tuesday.
Or when that woman turns from a lady to an old lady.
Yeah, it's not really a jump scare. It's mainly the idea of changing
I mean,
the
the
traditional
guy shit himself, so...
That's not true. Everyone says it's the days. I watched it again before the exam, and I'm pretty sure there's a fucking huge gong sound that plays when Danny turns the corner and sees the two dead girls.
Yeah, I never got scared by that either.
That's a jump scare.
I feel like, I think it's intended as a jump scare, but I think because it's one of the most iconic scenes in the film that over say with top 10 lists and stuff like that, I've seen that clip before, so it never scared me when I watched the film. Actually, when I even watched the film, I wasn't scared, but I think it was because I was just practically running it and really cute. Really horrible cold, so I'm new to it.
Anticipating, that stuff's gonna be scary, and they kind of subvert that, by using music and stuff.
Okay. Well, how about we just go on to games and stuff, because that's where I come into this part.
You don't have to introduce it, just talk.
Yeah. So, what do you guys think about jump scares like Five Nights at Freddy's compared to?
Five Nights at Freddy's is trash.
Compared to Silent Hill or Dead Space or something like that.
Dead Space 1's better.
I think when it comes to games say Five Nights at Freddy's is built on the idea of course it's always jump scares and you're always going to anticipate the jump scares, yet somehow they're still scary.
Well,
it's
at
just
the
idea
start,
you
you don't know what's
constantly
happening,
jump at you.
so the jump scares work, but then after hours
it wears
playing
off after
gets
a while. But if you play games like Dead Space or Silent Hill, they're games that slowly build on the horror aspect. Even games
Plus
like
you
Resident
have
Evil,
strange slutty nurses running at you with knives, but
the way that the games are developed, especially say with Resident Evil, it's the amount of control that you have as a player that helps determine how much horror you're going to get affected by. So have you ever played Resident Evil?
Ah, yes.
Yeah, well the games with the camera angle where it's just got a camera angle that you can't control.
Have you played it?
I've watched the Game Grumps play it, and that's what I'm basing this off. I don't play video games, I hate video games. Which is kind of ironic.
Is it ironic?
Because I have a gaming channel. Or is that hypocritical? Who gives a fuck? It's a contribution. Okay, fucking irony, let's put it that way. But yeah, it's just that idea that some games are scripted to have more intense versions of scares than Five Nights at Freddy's. So people would be less scared by Five Nights and more scared by Silent Hill because
Plus that would
atmosphere.
also go to the different people as well.
Yeah, it's also if people are pussies or if people are not.
Yes, basically, yeah.
Five Nights at Freddy's is marketed as a jump scare marathon, pretty much.
Yeah.
And the creator doesn't even like it, so... But Silent Hill and Resident Evil are cinematic, so they build the atmosphere.
Yeah. It's usually just a difference. There's atmospheric horror and there's jump scares.
No, Resident Evil still has jump scares.
Yeah.
Well, they still can have a mixture of
But
the
then,
two.
the mix of the two makes it better because, you're walking through, let's just say, the ambiance is scaring you.
Yeah,
you know something's going to jump out.
What's the most recent Five Nights game? Was this Sister Location?
Yeah.
That one, there's a couple of levels you literally have to walk through a whole entire area where the androids are trying to kill you. And the jump scare is if you hit into them, but the main horror is the idea of walking in this room in the dark, trying to not get killed. So that it's changes kind of the way it presents horror.
And does the horror come from knowing that something bad's going to happen? Yeah.
I think it is. I mean, with most...
For me, it comes from the loud noise. Because I had one game recently, I knew something was going to happen because it was like a Five Nights at Freddy's clone.
Yeah.
And so I knew I was going to kill myself to end the game, basically. And so I was waiting for it. And then so the scream, or like there was a baby doll face like came out. And then I was like, oh, okay. And then the scream happened. And I'm like, wait, what? I mean, if they were both synced up, then that would have scared me, like the scream of the thing coming at you at the same time. But
I guess it was meant to be unexpected or something.
yeah, that was really stupid.
I feel like it's just the kind of gaming equivalent of popcorn movies. Not that great.
What about we go to horror in movies apart from the Shining? What was that movie that you were just talking about with this metal case that we have?
It's up there actually. Paranormal Activity. We have the steel case. I don't even know why.
We really do, don't we?
I hate the fact that we actually own it.
Oh, well, that's my fault.
Yes.
Back then
he
it was
bad.
good.
He has bad taste in horror.
Well, I still got scared a little bit.
Yeah.
That was how many years
It's
ago
that kind
now?
of idea of that again is just a jump scare thing, but it builds you up with this atmosphere of like, oh, something might happen, but it doesn't.
And I'm pretty sure
It's
the rest
usually
of the
more
movies,
let down
I
than
haven't
the
seen
horror.
them, but I'm pretty sure they got just worse.
It's all
and
the same
worse.
formula.
It's the
I
same
watched
thing.
4 because my friends went to see it, and the only scary thing was just really unexpected at the end. It was like old ladies that came, but I didn't know what the fuck was going on. So
Was that the? Are you sure it was the fourth one, or wasn't it? It was the third one where there was a whole bunch of like, old ladies in the house trying to get the people.
No, it was right at the end.
Yes, this is at the end.
Oh,
of the
yeah, I
film.
think
But
I
they
remember
didn't. I
that.
don't think they came into the house.
Yeah,
I'm very sure. I think I
that's the
remember
one.
that. But
I unfortunately have like sat through the first 3 of them, and I know parts of the fourth one. Which one's the fourth one?
This is just right at the
There are
end.
like 6 of them. Shit, I don't.
yeah.
It's like
it's a
Ghost
comedy.
Dimension. There's fuck, who gives a crap? There, a whole bunch of shit.
Why is there a backstory for those besides to milk more episodes? More franchise out.
I don't know. It's interesting. I
They
think
just,
they just wanted to
made
make
enough
it.
money to make more, and then
They
more.
wanted
Yeah.
to make it somewhat interesting with the actual story, and
It seems just like a one-off.
it's just,
Like there's.
Like the first one was, but then they kept making it, unfortunately.
they kept the storyline going, and even the storyline continued from the third one into the fourth one.
I reckon
And
those
they made
movies
shit.
like are more not necessarily like jump scares, but like startle effect.
Mm.
Because like
Like
I
they
remember one of
slowly
the
give
scenes
you
where like
like
someone's
a
just
bit
standing there and then they get flung across the room, and like that startles you because you don't know what's going to happen because they're just looking at a baby.
They-
The baby's cute, and then they get flung across the room.
They usually incorporate so much cliche in the films, and it's very irritating. And like if you're watching 2 examples here, I guess that I'm looking at. There's Jaws and Evil Dead, or Evil Dead 2 I've got up there.
It wasn't hard though.
Why do you have
Jaws-
aliens? Aliens is not a horror movie. That's
It's
comedy.
Alien.
That's comedy.
Alien.
Yes,
Alien.
that is a comedy.
Alien.
Not the first one. The
For
second
me,
one.
that's a comedy, especially when the alien comes out. It's so cute. And
I guess.
What's that
I
space
guess that's
up
just
there?
me.
Like,
Which thin is that? Original. and
that's
new one?
the director's cut for Alien.
No, the thin. No, thin.
Oh,
Is
the
that
thing.
original
That's
or
the
the new one?
that's the John Carpenter one.
Good.
Because you can't say it's the original, because the original one is the Thing from Outer Space.
Okay, so
And then
No,
there's
I mean the remake that came out a few years ago.
2011.
Isn't there
That
like
one's
3?
not actually. It's. I haven't properly watched it, but when you watch what they were talking about before, like when they were actually trying to make the practical effects in the
horror thing.
2011 one,
They can
which
specify.
as a prequel, they went to a lot of work to actually make it
And
align
then they
with the
decided to
film.
just do CGI.
Yeah, the company was just like, just do it CGI instead, even though they had all this really good practical stuff and the story really worked, and then they just fucked it over with practical.
I think it looks like
Well, with CGI.
creepier with the
Yeah,
It
practical.
actually- it
yeah,
look-
the original is terrifying.
because when
But
you're
it is
watching
like
it as well,
comedy.
you know it's not CGI, so you're like, that's a real thing. Like even though it's not like sentient and all that. It's
Yeah.
still moving, like
It's great.
flopping
The
around.
only reason why I haven't
It took them 4
fully
years to
seen the
make
thing because I'm too scared to watch something with so much.
You were too scared at one stage to have the bloody aliens cover facing outwards from the...
Yeah, I was horrified by the alien films for years.
I loved it.
The thing is, though, I still love them, but I also hate them because of how much they scared me over the past 10 years. And it's a bit fucked up. But again, I also was I was a kid watching them, and I was very susceptible to horror. And that's why it's probably my least favorite genre, apart from probably romance films, because romance films are boring as shit.
They really are.
Rom-coms are fine. Like if you look at Shaun of the
Rom-com's the
Dead.
best genre. The best film of this year is a rom-com,
Yeah.
which is La La Land.
This is getting really.
That's also a musical.
I've only seen action. That's all I got.
La La Land will win everything this year.
I mean, you're ragging on films, but it's only when it's done well. Like any genre can be bad, and it's just like a matter of getting rid of cliches. And like horror has a lot of cliches. Rom-coms have a lot of cliches, but they can be really good.
If you actually look at the Evil Dead films, they were the ones that started the Cabin in the Woods genre,
Yeah.
which became itself a cliche.
Evil Dead 1's known as a great film, but it's just awful. It's just so bad.
When I watched it, I was like,
A
this
tree
is-
rapes a girl.
Yeah, that is
like,
disgusting.
Yeah.
it's just boring.
The first one, I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
not.
just...
What were they thinking when they were doing that?
No, it's like interesting, but it's just an awful film.
The first Evil Dead's pretty bad, but I somewhat enjoyed it, even though I only watched it just the once, because I'm like, I don't think it's
What,
worth
Evil
watching the
Dead?
second time. The first Evil Dead. The Evil Dead 2 is one of my favorite films because it took the first one and made it into a comedy, and it's fucking hilarious. And it's just a lot of the they use a lot of
Have you seen
practical
the TV
effects.
series that they made out of it?
Astro 7 Dead, yeah, I've just finished the second season the other day, and I really like it.
Yeah.
Like I've got the whole
I haven't
collection.
seen it. Like I got the first one was so bad I didn't want to watch any more of it.
That's the thing. I only watched the first one because I'm like, I just want to know what's actually happening, who these characters are, see if it has any relevance to the second one. Even though a lot of my friends were just like, don't bother with that. Just watch the second one and watch the rest.
He just wastes a lot of money on movies.
The film, shut
Just
up.
download them.
What you?
Well, can't anymore. Pirate Bay's getting shut down.
I use
I heard
those
that.
sites anyway.
It's depressing.
I've never used Pirate Bay. I actually don't trust them, which seems
No
fitting
download
'cause
site
it's
is trusting, but still, people do it.
yeah, well.
Have you guys seen Conjuring 1 or 2?
Conjuring's good.
That one's a
I've
pretty
only
good
seen
one.
the CinemaSins version of it. The everything wrong with the
Have you
Conjuring.
seen The Babadook?
I've seen-
Guys, Australian culture.
It's on my wish list for Netflix, but I haven't watched it yet.
Is that the
Right.
one with like the old lady creature thing in the house or something?
No,
it's an
not-
Australian
it's not a
film.
gr-
They get a storybook. It's all about.
I think I've seen it.
It's about loss of family,
I know,
really.
I know.
But it's this terrifying creature done by stop motion.
I'm
Very
pretty sure.
sure I've
Don't
seen
they like? I'm probably spoiling it, but in the end, don't they like just lock it?
You should probably say spoiler alert or something.
Spoiler alert, everyone! Like he's even closing his ears. Don't they like lock it in the basement? And that's
Yeah,
it?
because it's the idea of again spoiler.
They don't get
No,
rid of
it's
it,
the
they just
it's the
lock it.
presence of her dead husband, and it's that they can't let it go.
Ah.
Thought you couldn't hear. Still a great film.
I don't think I haven't seen it, but I've seen parts of it because it was on TV. It's creepy as shit, that's for sure.
If you
Just
if
look at the
you
image
donate
of
it to the Kickstarter, you can get the storybook.
Okay.
The storybook is fucked.
It's probably haunted itself, but.
What about
was it The Conjuring? No, hang on. What was that movie? Where it had the. Oh my god! It's like I can remember every part of the film. What is it?
Describe the fucking film then.
You know how the kid has like a little tent and it's got the little it's kind of like a little merry-go-round toy thing with the not Jagged Man or something.
What, The Sixth Sense?
No.
I'm sure that's not The Conjuring.
Yeah, I don't think it's The Conjuring. I feel like it's something else. It's the Jagged Man. Is it the Jagged Man or something? I'm looking it up.
Yeah,
Is it a new film?
I'm pretty sure it is. Like this year or last year. Crooked Man. That's what it's called. Like that was one of the things in it. I
I
think
only know the Crooked Man from bloody
game or something. That's
Yeah.
where I know it from.
I just know that from
I think
Wolf
it was.
Among Us.
I think it was the Conjuring 2 because it just used because the demon used that as one of the fears, like, and it created an actual.
Yeah, Conjuring
thing.
2, the Crooked Man.
Yeah,
Who's
that
the
thing was.
man?
I just know the Crooked Man from Wolf Among Us.
Yeah,
the evil
which
guy.
character? Oh. Okay, I don't remember it.
I don't
The
know.
guy who's behind everything.
Okay. I didn't necessarily play it. I just saw someone play
I haven't
it.
played it.
No, I just
Great
saw
game.
someone play it.
Telltale's not worth it.
But yeah, that's the best Telltale game.
It wasn't
That and Borderlands, which is amusing since you'd expect it to be Walking Dead.
Dude, that A-list prices, you know, they're like $40.
On sale, you can get them for $10.
I was just about to say, do you want to
Or just like
Huh?
get it for a little.
Oh, I would. If we bring up Walking Dead, I'll shit on it for about half an hour. This podcast will go for 2 hours.
It's not scary.
What, The Walking Dead?
Dude, the first episode was good. How the characters felt like powerless, but that's not even about zombies. It's like
Walking Dead is just a soap opera.
yeah.
It literally
Are we
is.
talking about the Telltale game or the
No, I'm talking about
the TV show.
series.
Okay.
It is literally a soap
The
opera.
Telltale
Yeah,
game.
it is too.
Man,
So is Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it's a soap opera. With,
Everyone's living in a world
with
where they
dead
love
people
soap
walking
operas, which is hilarious. You go compare it to like,
Game of Thrones is good.
it's a soap opera though.
So what?
It's like literally. Again, I guess this is a spoiler, but
I'm
it's
assuming
like,
you've watched
like-
the...
no, I haven't seen anything to do with.
The Rooster Teeth video?
I saw that,
Yeah.
but it's true. Like,
It-
oh
when
my
you look
god,
at
my cousin's the leader from the other land. Shock horror. It's literally soap opera like tropes.
Oh, the sisters.
But it's
sister
what?
and brother.
Exactly,
banging.
exactly.
Oh, God. Yeah.
It's hilarious.
But it has a medieval setting. It actually doesn't. It's a fantasy
It's
setting.
not really like that.
If you look into it, well, it's like
Yeah,
Walking Dead's probably more so about the just amount of
Oh,
trauma.
Walking Dead definitely is. It's really annoying
It's not,
actually.
like, it's not like a family drama. Like there's a lot of stuff going on.
Soap operas don't have to be family dramas though. Like,
What
Game of
is-
Thrones is definitely not.
like Neighbours, every season of Neighbours there'll be one big event where everything kind of changes.
Is that
It's
like
the same in Game of Thrones. There's always one big.
The only
thing
thing you see in
series.
ads where it's just like, oh,
Yeah,
the
it's
plane
like,
crashed.
the plane crashes.
Oh, who's gonna die?
All the
Next
caravan
week.
site
It's
block
like
guys. Oh,
every
no.
3 years they have something burning down.
Yeah.
So, like
Yeah,
fire
what's
is
your
a
name?
big killer in Australia. So why not?
And when someone's gonna die, we
Lamp-
wait. You just need to watch
lampshade.
the ads to know what's happening.
I'll be a lampshade.
What about what exactly makes Walking Dead horror though?
It used to be horror. The first 3
Yeah.
seasons are great, and then it just becomes.
No.
It's
repetitive
cut-
and it's not about the zombies.
One of the ways of horror
Season
which
2 was boring as fuck. I got up to halfway
Season 2
through.
is just
Season 1's great because
season
it's only
two
6
setting up-
episodes, and
yeah.
they can put effort in.
Yeah, season
I like
season
it.
2 they're just setting up characters and whatnot, but it really is dragged on for too long. And even I can admit that, and I've
Game of
read the
Thrones
comics, and the
was
comics are exactly
Yeah.
the same as it.
Walking Dead gives
It's
the
not like
fear of
Neighbours
death.
where
That's
there's
We're
what.
having 2
nothing
conversations. You know.
So that's the same
No,
with.
no,
Care about what?
we're having a conversation about Game of Thrones. Because you get mad.
I'm not mad. Just this
No,
the
You
podcast
made me mad.
is falling down. I've made you mad.
I'm pretty sure it
We've
always
done
does.
this before.
It does this. It does
No,
this so
I'm
many
saying
times.
we've done this already.
What's wrong with what's?
It's not like Neighbours where it's boring for the whole season and then right at the end there's a cliffhanger.
I didn't say.
All the
Game of Thrones
characters
is
are
boring.
working towards
It just
the
has
goal.
the
Soap operas
tropes of
don't
soap opera,
have to be
but-
boring as well, though.
Yeah, but Game of Thrones is just
Well, you're saying it like
well
it's
written,
like it's-
and Neighbours is not. But Neighbours is probably
Yeah,
well
it's
written.
just
than-
like-
Neighbours is
how long?
awful. I've been on Neighbours and it's not fun.
Yes, it has survived how long?
Game
like
of Thrones.
That's because
Neighbours
old
is
people
that.
watch
Oh, yeah,
it.
the old
Fucking
people,
EastEnders is still going.
No, there's
God damn, that show's
Neighbours tours
cancer.
and people from Europe just fly over just to go to the Neighbours tours. Like trust me.
They actually do.
English.
It's kind of weird, but at the same time, it's like if it's not, people would do that if
They
they
sell
could-
out sometimes.
If they go on
Except
their own
for
TV show,
Game
if they
of
go on a
Thrones.
show, that's pretty cool. I mean, you know.
But
I'm just saying it does have tropes of soap opera.
yeah, okay. They do sell out sometimes and it's pretty boring. But the first 4 seasons like flawless. I'm pretty sure. Okay.
What about
Get back to horror now?
horror in scary?
Game of Thrones is
What
kinda
about
horror,
horror
I
in
guess.
books? Have you guys read any scary books at all?
Horror in books. That
Yes,
I
I
don't
have.
get how that could possibly scare someone.
No, it does. Stephen King. Stephen King is the master of horror.
Yeah, but like,
He's also the master of
if there's
really
nothing
bad
to
books
look
and
at,
good
then
books
there's
and
nothing
really
to
bad
scare.
All these books are pretty great.
It's nothing. Use your imagination.
Not really. Have you read any of them?
That's what a book is.
I don't really need to,
But then how do you know if they're bad if you haven't read them?
because I know.
You
some
can't
books-
really.
I
You
know
can't
some
have an
books
opinion
are
on something if you
awful.
haven't seen it or read it.
That's
I still
Well, you can have an
refuse-
opinion, but
But
it's kind of invalid if you haven't
Yeah.
actually experienced it.
Well,
So
I can
I've read about 20 of Stephen King's books, and they're all
Yeah,
pretty
but-
good. There's a few that falter, but
Are they of the good book collection or?
I read everything of his. I've read Carrie, which is overrated but still good.
So-
His best is The Stand, which is the best description of apocalypse.
How exactly does that scare you, or like, does it?
That's what when you bring up horror to start with, the biggest comparison between horror is psychological and jump scares. So people can choose their two avenues. And there's other areas as well. There's gore and stuff, but the biggest
That's
areas
why
which
Walking Dead's so scary.
the biggest areas
Sorry.
that divide
It's the horror stuff.
is
Yeah,
psychological
yeah.
and jump scares. I feel like you're more of the jump scare kind of person, which is fine. There's a big area for that. Whereas I'm more into psychological
Yeah.
stuff, kind of that the unearthly vibes or the
Yeah.
things which you can't explain.
Yeah,
Psychological
not
is my
really.
favorite as well.
Oh,
And that's why
yeah.
Stephen King's good, because he always does these psychological kind of things. The Shining doesn't scare many people anymore, but back in the olden days it used to, because it was terrifying. It's religious. That's the idea, is that it's kind of this religious force. Same with Jaws. Jaws doesn't scare anyone nowadays, but my mom was terrified. No one went into the
I
water.
mean, like the jump scare. Of
No one went to the beach
shark coming
for
out.
a few months after Jaws came out.
Yeah.
No one went to the beaches because they were terrified.
It still affects people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shah Khan and stuff.
So the reason why Stephen King's
I
books
saw
are
the
good.
original Shining mini-series that they made with like the full original, like it was completely
Yeah,
based on the
non-Kubrick
books.
one. Yeah.
They had the
Was it any
pages
good?
that come to life
Was it any good?
and the mallet and the boiler room. You know?
Yeah. The book is fascinating. There's so much more in it.
No, it's fucking weird.
Yeah.
Because we studied The Shining this year, and I was just so into that. Sorry, guys.
That's alright.
This
Oh,
is-
it's still horror.
Yeah. Jack has a mallet, a croquet mallet, that he bashes the door down instead of an axe. It's just fucking stupid.
Does that even work that well?
I feel like it would.
Yeah. Or
All these-
flimsy door.
All
Yeah.
Stephen King's books is crazy. His biggest
It would've
weird
worked.
one is the Dark Tower series, which I also encourage everyone to watch. And now it's becoming a movie series with Idris Elba and McConaughey, which is going to be incredible.
Fucking sweet.
But the first book is so normal, it's just like a western. And then the second book, they find these doors and they go into the doors and get transported to 1960s America, where they're in a disabled woman. And then they go into another door and they're this kid in 1960s. And in the end, he pulls them through their own minds. And then the next book, they go onto a riddle train, where the train gives them riddles that they have to solve. And they find a beaver which sits on their shoulders. It just becomes more and more weird.
At least there's something different every book.
But it becomes so much that it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like that's why there are problems with Stephen King's books, because they're too ridiculous.
The Dexter series.
Dexter series, I've read all the books.
Not the TV series, which is still okay in its own right.
It
The
outlived
first
itself.
the first 5 seasons were probably the best. The rest was just crap. But the book series, I think I got up to the third book only because I can't stand.
They become awful after a
third
while.
book. The first book I find to be I think the first book is
Yeah.
fantastic. The second book is a decent sequel, and it builds up a kind of stuff that you really would like to see.
They outlive each other. Yeah.
And the third book is just, it starts talking about this whole idea that like this like dark passenger that Dexter has is like some kind of like evil like dark force entity, and they're trying to make it all supernatural.
All
And
shows
then
outlive
everyone
themselves.
hated it, and then in the fourth book they're completely just like, no, that didn't happen. It's nothing supernatural. It's just he's a psychopath that wants to kill people.
Shows outlive themselves constantly, as well as book series. For instance, Walking Dead has outlived itself. Game of Thrones has managed to hold on, but that's only because of audience. Whereas other things are going to die soon. Like Stranger Things, they're going to milk that until it's dead. Which is upsetting, because the first season's great.
I really wish it was an anthology series.
I'm hoping they don't screw it up in the
They're going to screw up Last of Us as well.
I think they're gonna screw up Stranger Things for the second season because I don't know what the hell.
I reckon the second season will be okay.
I think if they
Because
can,
but they're going to not do it like a miniseries. If it's a miniseries like Fargo, then you can uphold it. First 2 seasons of Fargo are fantastic.
Yes,
the third one's
they are.
going to be great as well.
yeah, I'm keen on it. But even the shows like American Horror Story,
Yeah.
it has its moments, but again, it's just still.
I feel like that was bad from the start. But
I think it was shit from the start.
I don't know why I like it. I like it when I watch it. I don't know why.
I thought you didn't
I
like
feel-
horror.
I don't like horror, but this is I don't know.
But
something about this
you've
that's-
named so many films and
Yeah.
shows that are all horror genres.
Yeah, I know. I've watched. I
You-
don't like.
you-
It's my least favorite genre apart from romance,
It's
and
okay.
yet I still watch a lot of. I mean, I've still watched a lot of romance films, and I don't think I've read any romance novels. I don't think so. No, I don't think I have. I can't recall any from the top of my head. So like, nope, I haven't.
Have you read those sexy novels for women in their late 50s?
Yeah, I've. Have you not read the 50 Shades series? No. Okay.
I've watched the 50 Shades film.
It's
It's interesting.
Did you watch it in theaters?
No, I want to go see the next one.
But it's just a what was it talking about the American Horror? Yeah, it's in its own right. I still think it's decent, but it has its audience. I can put it like
Yeah.
that. Like
No, exactly.
I enjoy it, but I can understand why people don't like certain things.
Haven't
'cause
they tried to bring
change.
it back by putting Lady Gaga as one of the people in
Yeah.
it?
She was and even she's
like
not
the main character,
She's not.
or-
She was like I think she was like the antagonist in the 5th season for Hotel.
The biggest argument I always get into people, I always go against the vein of stuff. So I hate Marvel films, but the majority loves them. See?
Just like,
And then especially when I go, my most hated Marvel
But-
film
but-
is Guardians of the Galaxy, and that's usually
yeah, I
everyone's
hated
favorite.
that one actually.
That's one of my favorite, but I think.
Whereas I liked Guardians when I first watched it, but Marvel films are the kind of thing where you watch once and you shouldn't watch it again. You should start questioning everything.
Popcorn film.
So what exactly about it? Yeah, what exactly about the Marvel films that you don't like?
They're repetitive. They're all money grabbing. That's the main thing.
Definitely. Yeah.
But they don't try it. And also, from a cinematic point of view and a filmmaking point of view, it's depressing. Like, you analyze any scene from Avengers, and they're always, like, pan shots to the left or right. But constantly, they don't change direction. There's nothing interesting.
Do you think the Star Wars films will end up getting that way as well?
No.
Yeah, maybe, because it's
I
run
feel
by Disney, but
they
there's a
have-
chance.
they have-
That's why Rogue One, I'm wondering if it's going to be any better.
They have the potential to do, they have the springboard that they know people are going to come and watch their film, and they've already changed up their
I feel like it will happen with Star Wars though, because it stretches out. For instance, Harry Potter stretched out after a while because they used the same director.
Yeah.
Whereas Harry Potter was great when they used different directors. So that's why Prisoner of Azkaban is the best film, because it's done by the guy who made Gravity. If you analyze any shot in Harry Potter, The Prisoner of Azkaban, it's always moving. It's constantly moving, and it's the motif of that everything's unsettling, and you cannot you can't stop moving. You're constantly on edge.
See, I don't normally analyze movies. I just watch them.
Yeah, exactly. But
So,
that's why,
yeah.
a lot of people I know love Prisoner of Azkaban, and they don't know why. It's because
Yeah,
it
I
visually
yeah.
grabs you. You can't explain it.
Plus, I like the game of it more than any of the others.
Whereas everyone likes Marvel because
You
of the
like the
characters.
Harry Potter games?
I love
Harry Potter games.
The
The
first
first three are brilliant,
Yeah.
and then they become shit.
The fifth
Chamber
one
Secrets
I
is the
literally
best.
just finished playing yesterday.
Chamber Secrets is
I
great.
played those games when I was younger. That was awful.
No,
Did you
first
play
three
on
are great.
PlayStation or
Yeah.
PC?
PC, bro.
PC.
PC is great.
PC was the good on
Fucking
PlayStation.
best Harry Potter game though, Quidditch. Fucking Quidditch is the best shit. I want a remastered
I
edition
never
of
did
that,
that.
where I can fly everywhere. Every single team had a special move, and England could have their little. Oh man, it was great. Great game.
Yeah, I just finished playing the fifth one.
This is a rock.
Oh, why?
And because I never finished it, so because there was a bug on the disc, so I couldn't actually finish it.
You just downloaded it.
So yeah, well, back then, 10 years ago, I
Oh
wasn't
yeah,
able
sure.
to do
Do
that.
you still have it?
Yeah, so
It's
the
pretty great.
disc. So I re-downloaded. I downloaded one just so I could actually play it. So
Turn it on.
I have to leave in.
15.
Clock is right there.
Nearly 10 minutes.
Do you edit these at
No,
all?
we'll be done like
Yeah,
3
he
seconds.
edits them.
No,
I
Julia
haven't
edits.
edited them.
Oh no, you didn't use his code name. What are you doing, man?
No.
Gonna bleep that out.
See,
You're gonna bleep that out.
See, that's where the edit is when people fuck up. Yes.
No, I said, have you? Okay. I didn't use. Okay.
You didn't use his code name, bro.
I was about to
No,
say
but I
like,
didn't say his name at all.
You did.
I said, have you edited it?
No, he never used.
He did, he
it. No,
But still-
I said Julia's the editor, because I'm not the editor.
Okay. Alright.
I was confused by what you were saying that that you haven't seen me edit anything, but I'm
No.
do you mean
The ones I watched, they haven't
actually?
been edited.
So that was horror, guys.
That was horror.
They have all been edited. They've had amplified audio and they've had the stuff put into it, so technically it's been edited from the original. But
You
still,
want to do an outro, Sam?
well, it's your host.
Fuck this.
This was horror.
Go watch some
Thanks for
film channels
watching.
if you want to learn about fucking film. This is shit.
Oh.
This
We
was
haven't said anything relevant
interesting.
the whole episode.
We'll leave this an interesting episode of the Mindless Show. Go and check out my channel. It's in the description below. Julio, you better do that. And yeah.
Plugging yourself.
But yeah. That's what I do with all of this. I have no idea what your name is, and I forgot your name, and I didn't get your name. So
I'm
already got a name yet?
I'm Lampshade.
Lampshade. Okay. Well, that was Lampshade off camera.
Mad Dog.
Mad Dog, and
McWizWam.
McWizWam, and Zama. So yeah. Bye bye. And everybody
Bye-bye.
waves or something.
Bork.
Born, bitch.